Hello, and thanks for viewing this presentation, which is focused on Hyperheat's Work Package 4, Domestic Hydrogen Appliance Development. It'll look at the approach we're taking to procure the development, testing and certification of a range of domestic hydrogen appliances, and explain the process that suppliers will need to follow if they want to be part of the competition to develop these. This presentation is intended to be a helpful addition to the invitation to tender document that's been published by BEIS, the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Please make sure you read the document closely, along with BEIS's terms and conditions and all the other related documents associated with it. Hyperheat Programme's mission is to establish if it's technically possible, safe and convenient to replace natural gas with hydrogen in residential and commercial buildings and gas appliances. This will enable the government to determine whether to proceed to a community trial. Work Package 4 is a significant part of the Hyperheat feasibility study to prove whether or not hydrogen could be used safely for heat and cooking requirements. You can see that it's linked to most of the programme's other work packages, including appliance testing, demonstration trials and so on. BEIS, through the Hyperheat programme, is seeking to procure domestic hydrogen appliances that are very similar to those used in households up and down the UK today. So that's gas boilers, gas cookers and gas fires. There's also an innovative domestic hydrogen appliance category, which is the chance to be more creative and innovative. We know there isn't an existing commercial market for domestic hydrogen appliances, so the approach we're taking in this work package is pre-commercial procurement, an SBRI, Small Business Research Initiative, competition. This is a well-established process that enables the development of innovative products and services in response to specific challenges faced by government departments and public sector bodies. Successful business partners receive finance to develop their ideas, generating new business opportunities and routes to market. A number of pre-commercial procurements have been successfully run in the UK through Innovate UK and the SBRI. You can find out more about SBRI by going to the website gov.uk and just searching Innovate UK or SBRI. We know IP is an important consideration for commercial manufacturers, so, using this procurement approach, suppliers receive financial support and retain intellectual property generated with certain rights of use retained by BEIS. It's important to make sure you read all the documentation, including BEIS's terms and conditions, carefully. The challenge posed for this SBRI competition is to develop like-for-like appliances which can demonstrate the safe use of hydrogen as a fuel to meet domestic heat requirements. And the objectives of the competition are to deliver prototype appliances which can demonstrate safe use of hydrogen as a fuel, providing domestic heating, hot water and cooking requirements, contribute to positive stakeholder engagement through use of the prototype appliances in unoccupied demonstrations, understand and, where feasible, address the challenges and risks associated with progressing the appliances to a volume manufacturing stage, and understand the challenges and potential solutions for a transition to hydrogen, including products that simplify the switchover process, for example, dual fuel, hydrogen ready or adaptable. The competition takes place over 3 phases. Phase 1 is solution design, which focuses on developing solution design documents covering the detail of the prototype development. These should demonstrate the concept hydrogen appliance is viable, detailing the necessary development and testing required to create the first prototype, including an understanding of any issues to be overcome and the ways you'd do this. Phase 2A is prototype development and focuses on the physical development of the first prototype, which will be tested for functionality and safety. The prototype from Phase 2A will be used in Work Package 8, testing in an unoccupied trial setting. Phase 2B is the development of Prototype 2.0. Projects within this phase are funded to further develop the prototype appliance to be community trial ready and certified for use in an occupied home. Not all the suppliers in Phase 1 will go through to later phases, but you need to be in the first phase in order to progress to the subsequent phases. All those in Phase 2A should be able to progress to Phase 2B, providing they've demonstrated they've met the requirements and delivered the outputs of Phase 2A. This competition is open to all organisations within the European Economic Area that can demonstrate a route to market for their solution based on natural gas appliance sales. It's aimed at organisations working on research and development prior to commercialisation. Funding is available for pre-commercial R&D activities only, so projects requesting funding for commercialisation activities are not eligible. Eligible proposals will address the Phase 1 scope, but will also describe all phases of the project. They'll clearly include the cost savings provided to BEIS in line with pre-commercial procurement requirements. And they'll be led by a single organisation acting as the prime contractor, with evidence of strong collaboration if a consortium bid is proposed. If you're thinking of applying, register your interest as quickly as possible by emailing builtenvironmentinnovation@beis.gov.uk. It's a good idea to refer to the checklist of documents to be submitted when you're returning your application. Treat this like an exam. Make sure you answer the questions asked in full. Incomplete applications or incorrect information may lead to your application being rejected. So all answers must be addressed within the application form. Any appendices that support the answers must be included, and the application list all the appendices and supporting documents. Consider the structure of your application. It's strongly advised that you structure your submission to cover each of the evaluation criteria. Make sure that you submit everything before the deadline. If you have any questions ahead of drafting your application, ask them by emailing builtenvironmentinnovation@beis.gov.uk. Anonymised answers will be sent out for all potential bidders to view. It's important to remember this is a competition. Contracts will be awarded on a competitive basis to the highest ranking proposals. BEIS reserves the right to take a portfolio approach when awarding funding to projects in order to ensure that the competition supports a range of appliance types across the categories. So BEIS could choose to allocate the budget to lower scoring projects to develop and test a wider range of appliance types. Although the contract is divided into phases, your response should cover all the phases, 1, 2A and 2B, and evaluation will be made against your organisation's ability to deliver the entire contract. Your response should show that your concept hydrogen appliance is achievable in theory by describing the reference natural gas appliance and planned design approach to adapt it to burning hydrogen. For new appliances, you should describe the engineering principles that underpin the concept and how they'll be applied in practice. Remember, make sure you have a good understanding of the scoring criteria in the ITT and that your application addresses all points. This procurement process and phased competition has robust timescales. BEIS reserves the right to change this timetable, and any changes will be circulated to organisations who've registered their interest in tendering. Please make sure you've noted these dates and don't miss a deadline. A key date is the Phase 1 application date. And finally, just a few things to remember. Read the ITT and all documentation thoroughly. If anything isn't clear, ask questions by emailing builtenvironmentinnovation@beis.gov.uk within the time slot allowed. When completing your application, make sure you answer all questions and submit all documentation within the guidelines. Check the dates and don't miss deadlines. Good luck and all the best for your submissions.